Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sue with Homesteading with Sue, and today I was asked to do some things with rhubarb. So the first thing I'm going to do with rhubarb is I am going to make a rhubarb vinaigrette. So what you do is you put a cup of rhubarb into a pan with 2 tablespoons of orange juice, 1, 2, and it says a little bit of water. I'm not quite sure how much that is, so I'm just going to put a little bit in my pan. And then we're going to cook it until it becomes very soft, which will be approximately 10 minutes. And then after that, we need to let it cool, and then we will add it to a food processor, and we will add in the other ingredients. How are you guys today? I'm doing good. It's about 78 degrees in Oregon. Sorry if you can hear the fan. My house isn't air conditioned. So we're just working on this cooking a little bit to get soft. When we're all said and done, we will add 3, I don't have rhubarb vinegar, but I plan on making it right after this, but it has to sit for 7 days. So it'll actually be, I'll show you the first part of it in this video, and then I will actually show the whole process later in a different video. So I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You can use any kind of vinegar you'd like. And then we will add 2 tablespoons of honey, 1 tablespoon of onion, and I used red onion, 1 teaspoon of garlic, which is a little more than a teaspoon, 1/4 of a cup of olive oil, and I think, and Dijon mustard. I actually used a stone ground mustard because I didn't have Dijon, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And this makes 3/4 of a cup, I do believe, if I remember right. Yes. And we will also add salt and pepper to it. And that will go on our salad that I'm showing tonight with my pork chops with rhubarb on them, and I'm thinking I might make a dessert too, but I don't know yet. And of course, I'm making a salad, of course. How's everybody's gardens doing? Mine, well, I still have an issue with my water out there. Tonight we're going to go fix that, hopefully, at the farm. But my in-town garden is doing really well. So it's getting softer. I just love the smell of rhubarb. So I'm just going to let it boil a little longer, and then I'll go ahead and shut it off. and I'll go ahead and let it sit for like 15-20 minutes so it doesn't have a problem with my food processor. Oh yes, much. I think it's about perfect. I can squish it with my spoon. I'm going to go ahead and shut this off, and I'll be back in like 20 minutes. All right, so our orange juice and water and rhubarb has cooled off. I'm just going to go ahead and add it to the all right, so our rhubarb, orange juice, and water has cooled down, so I went ahead and added it to the food processor. I am going to now add my 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of honey, my 1 tablespoon of stone ground mustard, my tablespoon of red onion, and my teaspoon of garlic. We're going to go ahead and salt and pepper that. And then I'm just going to drizzle in my olive oil. Excuse me. And I'm supposed to do this until it's crackly. So there it is. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. And I have a bottle here that hopefully will hold it all so I can get it cooled in time for dinner tonight. That smells delicious. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and sneak a taste actually first. I think it needs a little more salt and pepper. Sorry. Now I'm going to go ahead and pour it into my container. Oops, a little left over, but that's okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to put it in my refrigerator and get ready to do the next item. Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Sue with Homesteading with Sue, and today I'm going to teach you how to cut up some rhubarb. No, actually, I'm going to do some rhubarb vinegar, which is good for salads, good for fish, I need 2 cups of rhubarb in small pieces, so I'm just going to cut this. And the other ingredients in this is 2 cups of white vinegar. And then we will put a fermenting cap on it, which is this. It has a hole in it so that the air gases can seep out while it's sitting for 7 days on the counter. And it's good for up to 6 months as long as you keep it in a cool, dark place. I just thought it would be something fun to show you. I bought a lot of rhubarb, of course. I always seem to buy extras, but I had somebody ask me to do stuff on rhubarb, so I might as well give you all as much knowledge as I can off things that I learned. And I am going to put it in a half-gallon jar. That way I don't have to worry about the gases of the fermenting to come out the top of my lid, hopefully. And I'm going to keep it where I remember where it's at, because I always seem to forget that I'm fermenting stuff, and I end up leaving it going for too long, and it never turns out right. So I'm going to be right back. Okay, and of course I washed this before I started cooking. There we go. That's 2 cups. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. Put it in the pan. And now I am going to turn this on. And we're going to add 2 cups of white vinegar. we are going to, when it's all said and done after the 7 days, I'll come back and show you what else I'm going to do, but I'll go ahead and tell you now. I will put a piece of cheesecloth in a colander, or I have what they call a nut bag, which I'll probably use. It works much better for me. And then I'll drain all of the rhubarb off, and then we'll just have the vinegar left. And this is supposed to boil for like 2 to 3 minutes. And then we'll go ahead and pour it right directly in here. Like I said, I'm going to use a half a gallon jar and my canning funnel. Those are the handiest things. If you don't have one, they work awesome for all jars. Just saying. It's one of my favorite pieces of canning equipment, to be honest with you. How are you guys doing? I'm doing good. It's warm out here today, or it's warm. It's like 78 degrees the last time I looked. Could be hotter now, I don't know. So if you can hear a fan, I'm sorry, but my house isn't air conditioned. And again, this is called rhubarb vinegar. And this is what the last recipe I made, it called for rhubarb vinegar, but I didn't have it, so I had to do it the other way. I didn't have time to wait for the 7 days to get it to where it was ready to use. And whenever you ferment something, you want a nice clean, everything needs to be sterilized and nice and clean when you do that, or otherwise the ferment may not work correctly. Okay, so just so you know, there's 3 different kinds of fermenting. There's lactate fermenting, which happens naturally occurring. Yeast and bacteria convert sugars into lactic acid. And then there's ethyl alcohol, which is what people do when they ferment beer, wine, and hard ciders and other alcoholic beverages. And then there's acetic acid, which occurs when starch from grains and sugar from fruit ferments. So, like, this is a case of foods like apple cider vinegar, fruit vinegars, kombucha, water kefir, and milk kefir. So this would be considered an acetic, I said it wrong. Anyway, a ferment. It's been around, fermentation has been around for thousands of years. And by the way, that the definitions to that came out of Everything Worth Preserving from Melissa Norris. and she's a great person to learn from. I learned from her on my canning, and so I just thought I'd give you that little definition because some people don't know what fermentation is. Now, I like to ferment my garlic and put it in the refrigerator. It comes to I can't remember exactly, it's like a cup of water to 2 tablespoons of good salt, and you add the rest of it over the garlic with just water, and you shake it all up, and you just put it in your refrigerator, and you can use it for a long time. Okay, so this has been boiling for a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it off, and I'm going to gently pour this into this jar. Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to work very well. There we go. Go ahead and put the rest of that in there. And the pieces are missed. And I will look back on this in like 7 days. I'm going to put it on my counter so I don't forget about it. And I'm going to go ahead and put this fermenting thing on it. I can't remember what the name of it right now is. And do not put your lid on all the way, because it'll gain, even though it has this hole, it will still get gases in it, and it will need to burp. So if you leave your lid off a little bit, it'll be fine. And if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Sue with Home Study with Sue, and tonight we are making rhubarb pork chops. And so to begin with, we take 1 cup of 5 centimeter long rhubarb, and we put it in a bowl. We put in a red onion. I only use half, thinking that it might be a little too strong if I use the whole thing. And then 3 cloves of garlic. Well, mine were kind of 4 crushed cloves of garlic. And then 1 tablespoon vinegar, balsamic vinegar. And some olive oil. And then it wants us to, it wants us to season the way we want to season it. And I'm just going to put some seasoning salt, because it already has onion and garlic in it. So I'm just going to use some Lowry seasoning salt and some pepper to season it with. And I already have my oven going to 400 degrees. Sorry about going off screen again. I'm just going to stir this together. And then we're going to bake this for, we're going to roast it in the oven, for 20 minutes. And I will be back. Okay, I'm back. Now we're going to melt a tablespoon of butter in a pan on high heat, and fry the rosemary. I bought rosemary sprigs today, but I cannot find them. So I'm just going to use some regular rosemary that I had in my cupboard, I guess. So I'm just going to put those in there. And we're going to cook the pork for 2 minutes on each side, or until it is nicely browned. Sorry about walking away again. I always think I have everything and then I don't. And it was supposed to be 2 sprigs of rosemary. I just put a couple handful pinches in because I can't find the rosemary I bought for this. I'm sure when I'm completely done I'll find it. Okay, we're going to get that nice and fried up. Okay, we got both of those in the pan. We have about 6 minutes left on the stuff we put in the oven. How are you guys doing tonight? I just went out and worked in the garden a little bit. Ran some soap roses. So it wants us to use about 1 1/4 cup of rice. Well, actually it says mixed grains, but I'm going to use rice. And then a little less than a 1/2 cup of chicken broth, but I'm going to go ahead and use a 1/2 cup of broth. Let's get this nice and brown. And I still have my salad to make yet. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn these off and get them into the pan. Onto a plate. the falling. My camera is leaning. Hold on. All right, so now it wants me to stir the stuff in the pan. All right, and then it says to add the chicken stock and the grains, but I'm adding rice, and hopefully it's done in time. I'm stirring it all together, making a big mess. Nothing new there. I'm gonna get a towel to wipe that off. All right. Go ahead and put your pork chops in there. And then it says to cook roast for another 10 to 15 minutes. But I'm going to go like 20 or so because I don't think that the pork chops are as thin as they thought they were going to be. So I might go a little longer, and hopefully the rice will be done. If not, then I'll end up going longer than that. Okay, so I've cut up the green onion, the radish, the orange bell pepper, the cucumber, the avocado, and the tomato. And I thought you guys knew how to do that. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to rip up this lettuce. Stays fresh longer if you don't use a knife on it. And our pork chops, I put them in for 20 minutes. So there's about 3.5 minutes left on them. I know you guys can see that big old mess of dishes in the sink. You know, that sink started out this morning before I did my 3 cooking adventures. It was completely empty. Now it's completely full and ran over to the other edge. But hopefully you can't see the other edge. So the lettuce is broken up, so it's more like bite-sized pieces now. And I did bite-sized pieces with the all of the veggies to go on it. I'm not gonna put it together because I like things that my husband don't like on his salad, so I'm not gonna make his salad for you. And in a few minutes, I will show you what the dinner looks like. All right, so I went ahead and decided that this was done. I do suggest, though, if you're going to do this, to put a little spray around your pan because it's a little sticky. right. So, I'm going to make me a little salad. And then my rhubarb dressing that I did. Very tasty. And then this is what it looks like on my plate. If you enjoy, and don't forget that we also made today the rhubarb vinegar. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.